Hi, I'm Norman A. Hood, financial advisor and host of the Exit Plan Show. I interview America's top advisors, like today's guest, Steve Levine of Small Business Today magazine in Houston, Texas, to help business owners enjoy more personal freedom, grow their companies faster, and transfer ownership seamlessly when the time comes. Welcome to the show, Steve.
Well, thank you.
Glad to have you here.
Thanks for having me here.
Besides that, I want to thank you for letting us use this location. Sponsored.
I think it worked out well.
Yeah, it's been fantastic.
Too bad you can't move the location with you when you
right, that'd be nice. We need a bigger van, won't we?
It's worked out great.
Yep, it sure did. So I'm going to start out. Can you tell our audience a little bit about your background and then your career path up until now?
Sure. I graduated high school and college in that 10% of the class that made the upper 90% possible.
Okay.
In upstate New York. Graduated degree with hotel restaurant management, State University of New York at Delhi. Moved to Orlando pre-Disney and worked in hotel and restaurant management there and became one of the youngest resident assistant general managers of the Sheraton when I was 24.
Wow.
And left there to go into the apartment industry, apartment management, particularly apartment lease-ups of apartment communities that had a large vacancy factor. From there to residential real estate, and from there to publishing the apartment guide here in Houston for Has Publishing Companies. And we sold Has Publishing Companies the first time in 1989, and then it was sold again in 1994. I went on to start some other publications, the Greater Jacksonville Communities Guide, and a publication called Perfect Wedding Guides, which we have in 5 or 6 cities across the country. And it's now all over the country. Almost every city has a Perfect Wedding Guide. Started in 2002 with Sunshine Media, opened up something called Real Estate Executive Magazine, a publication for top real estate producers, with the centerpiece being a cover honoree of a top realtor put there by nomination and vote by a publisher's advisory board. Great content, high quality, and one had to qualify just to get a copy. You couldn't even buy a subscription. It's all based on an honor. From Real Estate Executive, I left Sunshine Media and started a very similar publication, Premier Agent Magazine, which my own with my partner John Cruz and my wife Barbara Bram Davis Levine as partners. Profiles Magazine and Rising Star Magazine. So I've had three publications one time. My partner came to me, John Cruz, in August of 2011. He said, "What do you think about doing a publication for small business?" And I said, "What do you think about doing it?" Because I knew what his thought was, because he was already hosting a radio show for people with Plan B, somebody working in corporate America and maybe wants to have their own business. And you know, when we talked about it, what we like, what we didn't like about what we're doing, how we could change it up, I remember back my mom and dad. I was clothed and fed on small business income with retail businesses that they didn't even want to be in. They were lured in by my grandparents, who promised them college educations, both. One gave up a scholarship to an art school, the other one gave up the GI Bill to work in these retail stores in upstate New York, and they always regretted making that move, but it was a family business, and the community depended on that family. So I remember my roots, and I remember them working so hard in the business. They never really had a chance to work on it. I'm not sure with today's technology and social media they would know what to do.
Right.
But they did do something that was smart, is a community involvement. He was the president of the Board of Trade, which is like the Chamber of Commerce. She worked in a garden, well, she was a member of a garden club and became the president of the garden club, did civic projects, improvement projects. They never looked at that as working on their business. To them, it was the right thing to do to help the community.
Right.
So I learned from them. They be my role models of what entrepreneurship's all about. Remember, I was programmed to go to college and get an education and work for corporations, as many of us were in the 50s and 60s. That was the thing to do. But small business, small business is the foundation of our economy. We were founded on small business, the shopkeepers, the street merchants, the farmers and craftsmen. That's how we were founded. That's where our economy came from. And with 6 million of 7 million businesses being small business in the country today, defined as 500 employees or less, and most of those are 100 employees or less, that collectively, small business is the nation's largest employer. And small business also this country's largest taxpayer collectively.
Right.
So, and I think it will continue to be. So anything we can do to support small business and helping them grow helps two groups, big business and small business.
Okay, good. Good overview of the company. I appreciate it.
Sure.
So that was a great interview. I have one more question.
Sure.
How would the people that know you the best, how do you think they describe you as an individual?
Professional, personable, focused, dedicated.
Okay.
I think all those things make sense.
Okay.
And my motivation was always because I wasn't that 10% of the class made upper 90% possible. Remember my grade point average in high school still today, just to prove that your grades are not necessarily indicative of the heights that you can rise to.
I agree with that. Brian Tracy's done a study on CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, and he a surprisingly high percentage had a C average in college. So.
I remember one of my heroes, speakers, Tom Hopkins, Champions Unlimited, who
had all his tapes on too.
I did too. He said, "How many of you want your children to be A students?" And everybody raised their hand. How many of you were? A lot of hands were down. Yes, so,
right.
So as long as they grow up with parents that are role models for ethics and integrity and work ethics and know God and family, and then everything else comes next.
Yep, that's true.
That's important.
Okay, great interview. That was Steve Levine. He's with Small Business Today magazine here in Houston, Texas. For more information about Steve or subscribe to his magazine, please check out the show notes for this episode on our website. Thank you.